Good afternoon, everybody. This is Coach Anthony Williams from Connected Athletics, founder and CEO. And we are excited again to bring you another interview with one of the top players, not just in the state of Texas, but also across the country. Connected Athletics is a company who's built a platform to help young players like Latrell connect with other athletes, connect with college coaches, and to develop their brand as they transition from high school to college. And today, like I said, we've got a very important prospect that a lot of guys have been calling me about, and he's got lots of interest. Latrell, how are you doing today?
No, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I know that you are coming off of an injury and everything, but I want to first start out with showing some video. I think people may have kind of forgotten you missed your junior year. I want to show some of your sophomore highlight video and just kind of have you talk to it and talk about your mindset as a corner and some of the plays you're about to make. So let me bring that up right now and cue that up, and then we'll get going here.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. At first play, I was anticipating a comeback. We had talked about that when we seen the film from the scrimmage. This play, that second pick, I wasn't even really supposed to be in that zone, but I mean, I'm a ball hawk, so I really just seen the ball and attacked it. Come up and make tackles. Got to be able to lay that hat. I think this is another one where I came up and made a pretty good tackle. Stopped the guy with the ball. Yeah. Got to bring that mentality. Like, yeah. I ain't scared of nobody. I'll hit anybody. It doesn't matter to me. This play was in overtime. Big stop. I think this one was late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I was in the slot playing nickel this play. They had their best guy inside, and I kind of followed the best guy. So, I should have picked this. I was pretty mad. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty mad when I didn't pick this one.
We'll show one more here.
I got pretty sloppy in my technique on this one. I'm not going to lie. I probably should have picked that one too, but I was young.
Yeah, you're only a sophomore.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in it right there. So let me just tell you, I've talked to a lot of coaches about you, and I watched that video. I've watched it probably 50 times. As a father of a son that played defensive back at University of Texas and for the Buffalo Bills, I can tell you some things I love about you as a DB. I like to go from kind of top to bottom. I love the way you play with your eyes. To be a good cornerback, you got to play with your eyes. And so I love how you're either peeking in at the quarterback in zone, or you're in eyes around the helmet of the guy they're covering. I also love your footwork. I love how you move. I love how your route progression, how you can see the ball. You watch how plays develop. And I can tell you and evaluate a lot of DBs. A lot of DBs don't do that. They just figure, I got my man, that's it. But you got to be strong in the running game, which you are. You got to see routes develop and things you bring. And so I'm very impressed. I can see why you've got 30-plus offers from schools all across the country. But let me ask you, how would you describe yourself as a corner?
Confident. I would say I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty, how I put this, pretty developed, I would say. I mean, from sophomore to junior year, I would say that a lot of people would have gave me a lot of compliments on things like technique and how I've developed as a player and improved myself just as an overall defensive back, period.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we're in this very interesting COVID-19 environment. We know you can't do any team workouts and whatnot. Tell us what you've been doing to stay in shape during this interesting times.
So I'm currently still rehabbing right now. So I go to rehab twice a week, but I'll work out on the days that I don't rehab. So I'll work out Monday, rehab Tuesday, work out Wednesday, rehab Thursday, and work out Friday. So I mean, it just depends. Like, there's times where I'll go get a jog in after a workout, or I'll go get a jog in after my rehab session. But I think I've been pretty consistent with it and staying on top of it.
I obviously speak to a lot of us really missed watching you play your junior year. talk to us about the injury and tell us how you're doing with rehab, or how you're doing in rehab, and how you're going to come back better and stronger.
I mean, in all honesty, I had some pretty dark times when I had the injury, but I mean, I got some pretty special people in my corner that allowed me to that helped me to progress and to stay on the right track and never let my thoughts get the best of me and things like that. So I mean, it's been a tough process. It's a long process, but I'm getting there. Right now, I'm about 6.5, almost 7 months at this point out from surgery, and I'm about to begin cutting. I started running. My quad's getting pretty big, things like that. So, I mean, I'm set to recover exactly 9 months and 1 day from my operation date. So, I mean, I think that says a lot about how I've been consistent with it and things like that as well.
Well, it's unfortunate you go through injury, but in this game, injuries are a part of it, and how you handle yourself during those injuries, it actually, you find positives in a negative situation. You're probably going to be injured again, but now that you did it at a young age, you'll be more apt to handle it as you get older if it happens again in college or at the NFL level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your academics a little bit. I see the 3.1 GPA. Obviously, LBJ is an early college school. Talk to me about how you attack your academics.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm kind of like a nerd. So, I mean, school is it's like a second nature to me. But I mean, my mom doesn't really play about my grades. Like I get in trouble for getting C's and stuff like that. So I think that plays a pretty big part in why my grades are so well oriented. But yeah, I mean, I attack school like I would attack anything else with confidence. I make sure I stay on top of it. I mean, I'm a kid, so I do make my mistakes every now and then, but you know, they're not really too major. I mean, I'm pretty good with my grades.
Tell
I'm in
me about tell me about a person there at LBJ, a teacher, a counselor, somebody that is that really kind of opened your eyes to taking your academics to the next level.
uh I mean, in all honesty, the person that opened my eyes to take my academics to the next level was a coach. Coach Jamal Finner. I mean, we had some pretty deep conversations about what I needed to do to be in the position that I'm in now. So I mean, he laid out the plan for me, and I just followed his lead and made sure that I stayed on top of my grades and stuff like that.
Okay. Have you taken the SAT or the ACT yet? Or are you going to take it in the fall?
I took both of them actually, but I don't really like my scores. I mean, I'm qualified with the scores that I have, but I feel like I can do a lot better. So,
Okay, I like that. Okay. Well, let's talk about you as a defensive back. And the one thing I'll tell you, as I mentioned earlier, my background is raising a cornerback. I was proud of the fact that my son played corner, nickel, and safety. Talk to me. I think that's somebody that I think I watch your film, and I think you can do the same thing. Talk to me about your strengths and weaknesses and what you plan on bringing into your senior year.
I would say my strengths are press coverage. I like to press a lot, get in guys' faces and be physical with those guys at the line and throw off the route timing and stuff like that. But uh, something I feel like I can get better at, getting in and out of my breaks quicker. I mean, I'm pretty quick with it, but I mean, there's always room for improvement. So I think me getting in and out of my breaks, being able to play in space better, I think I can always get better at that because, I mean, you got to be able to play in space. If you're going to play nickel, you're going to play the safety position and things like that. So I think we'll get there, though.
Okay. Do you have a preference? Do you like staying outside the corner, or do you like playing inside, or does it matter to you?
I mean, I would prefer to play corner, but I wouldn't say it's just like a preference thing. Like, I feel like I can play anywhere on the field, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Well, you are obviously blessed. I don't think I've seen a secondary like LBJ's where you've got two players in the secondary with over 30 offers. What's it like to have another big time player like Andrew playing with you in that secondary?
I mean, I won't let anybody else really get a rep with that guy when I'm at practice. So, I mean, we bash heads a lot at practice, but I think it makes us better in the long run. I mean, going against me going against him, I'm not really going to see anybody too much better than him that I'm going to play against on Friday nights. So, I mean, sometimes practice is harder than the games, you know what I'm saying? Like, going up against that guy is tough at times, but, I mean, it makes me better. I really appreciate him. We push each other to the limit.
Well, you and I have talked personally, and I know that getting a possible invite to the All American game on NBC is one of your goals. Let's say the committee is watching this recording right now. Why don't you tell them why you think you should be an All American?
Uh, I just think that I'm an exciting player to watch. I've worked to get here. I've always dreamt of playing in that game, so that would be a dream come true for me. But I mean, choosing me I would say I'll bring a lot to the table for whatever team I play on. I mean, I can do a lot of things. I'll make a lot of plays and stuff like that, and I'll just have fun with it, like any other guy would.
Okay. Well, obviously, you because of your great sophomore year and where you're trending, you've got 30 plus offers right now, which is a lot of players in your grade would love to have that. Talk about your recruiting process right now. Where are you at? You're coming up in your senior year. You know, obviously, lots of offers. What are you looking for now as you start to kind of get your list down from 30 down to top 5 or whatever? Where are you at with that right now?
I recently dropped my top 10. That list consists of Alabama, Oklahoma, Tennessee, USC, Georgia, Florida, Florida State, Ohio State, LSU, and Virginia Tech. Those schools have genuinely built relationships with me. I really appreciate the way that those guys have recruited me. I don't really feel like I'm just another recruit. Any of the coaches that recruit me from those schools, and I really appreciate that because I mean, in this game, having genuine relationships is something that you really have to have. I mean, of course, you don't want to burn any bridges, but I mean, there's some people that don't really do well with creating actual relationships with people, and I think that's something that coaches could improve on, but I could have improved on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chopping my list down, it was something I felt like I needed to do. I had 30 schools texting me every day. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of got overwhelming, so I decided to drop that list of top schools, and I'll move forward from them. I'll probably drop a top 5 in another month or so
Okay.
and
Let me,
pick up a hat in December.
let me keep it real with you right now. There are a lot of kids that would love to be in your spot with that list of schools and that top 10. Let's rewind back to your sophomore year when you didn't have those offers. What advice could you give that sophomore now who's a class of 23 on what you did to earn that amount of attention across the nation?
uh, I wasn't really. I'm not really a guy who really thinks of it as, oh, I have to get this offer. I mean, I love the game, so my love for the game just drove me and pushed me to be the best player that I could be at that time. So I would, if I was speaking to a 2023 guy right now, I would tell him like, man, just put your head down and grind. Them guys are gonna come looking for the players. I mean, you're not gonna be a player if you don't grind. So you got to get in that lab.
Great. Obviously, the relationship between a player and coach is special. Talk to me about your relationship with your position coach, your D coordinator, and your head coach at LBJ.
My D coordinator is Jason Davis. He went to West Virginia, played for the Texans for a couple years, and we got a pretty strong relationship. I mean, I have a strong relationship with every coach on our staff, every single coach. Those are my guys for real. I feel like I can talk to any of those guys about anything. My D coordinator, a real funny guy, somebody I really get along with. We never really bump heads. I would say he's a great mentor to us, and he really pushes us no matter what it is that we're doing. My position coach, Coach Joe Rawls, man, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really like Coach Rawls at first. I mean, when he came onto the campus, he was a new coach, so I'm thinking like, I don't really like this guy, but he really grew on me. I would say that's probably my second favorite coach overall right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real genuine guy who really cares about us. He always call, even to this day with this quarantine stuff and things like that, he'll call and check on us and things like that. But our head coach, Jamal Finner, that's my guy. Like, I know I can ask Finner for anything. We have a family type relationship. Like, I've known him for a pretty long time, almost my whole life. So he's grown on me. I mean, we've gotten extremely close from the time that I've stepped on LBJ. So I would say my relationships with my coaches are pretty good.
Obviously, there's a lot of people that are involved in making Friday nights happen. You talked about your coaches. Talk to me about the non-football staff, trainers, the hydration people, your play-by-play. Tell me somebody who's also made a difference in your Friday night experience.
Does it have to be a trainer? Can it be like a teacher or
Anybody?
mentor,
No,
something like
anybody.
that?
No, anybody. Yeah.
Erica Cray. She was a teacher at our school. I mean, I could ask her Cray about anything. She really helped me with life off the field and things like that. I really appreciate her. Antoine Thompson is another one. Coach Twan. He really helped me with a lot. Like, he was my coach in middle school and things like that. But I mean, off the field, aside from sports, he's a really, really good guy. I talk to him about some of the things that I go through, and he'll help me through it.
Okay. What are you looking forward to at the college level? As you know, there's no bells, there's nobody telling you, hey, Latrell, get to class. What are you looking for the freedom? Tell us a little bit about what you expect at that college experience.
I want it to be fun. I don't want to be a guy that's just there, just to be there. I want to actually enjoy my time at whatever university I choose to take my talents to. I really do, really can't wait for the freedom. I mean, being able to just go to class and go to sleep after that one class that I have that day is gonna be something I look forward to. Because I mean, I got 4 classes a day right now, and usually, I mean, I have all core classes because I'm in senior classes because I'm on track to graduate early. So it's pretty tough on me right now. It's a lot of work, but I mean, I think I'll get through it. College should be a pretty fun experience with the freedom and things like that.
Well, with your strong GPA and your academics, you mentioned it. Are you planning on being an early enrollee or no?
Yes.
You do. Okay. In your top five, you've got some strong schools. Do you already have a criteria that you already put together to make that final decision next coming up pretty soon?
Uh, I wouldn't say yet. No, I don't.
Okay. So obviously distance is an issue. I'm sure you've been looking at culture and family environment and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I
Okay.
wouldn't say distance is an issue though. I mean, my mom can reach me no matter where I'm at. See.
Okay. Do you have an idea what you plan on majoring in when you get to that school of your choice?
I would say business or like some type of finance, like accounting or stuff like that, because I'm pretty good with numbers. So it'll probably be one of those two.
Okay. Obviously, we miss you playing your junior year. It's coming up in the fall. Somebody's going to watch you play for the first time this fall, and they're going to say, man, that kid at corner, he reminds me of, who do you pattern your game after?
Jalen Ramsey. Dion's my favorite corner of all time, but I feel like I'm more of a Jalen Ramsey type of guy. Get in your face, jam you, follow you no matter where you go. I think I'm one of those type of guys.
Okay. Tell me, obviously in football, they're overcoming adversity, and especially being a corner, having a short memory is very important. Personally or involved as a football player, as an athlete, tell me about a time in your life when you had to overcome adversity.
Uh, I mean, honestly, the biggest adversity I had to overcome was having an ACL and meniscus repair. It was a pretty big setback, and I mean, man, like it was really hard on me, like the way it happened and things like that. It was like I began to question why, like why me. But as time went by, I stopped thinking of it negatively and started thinking of it positively. Like maybe the man upstairs is using me as an example to other people around me because I have so many people watching me. I mean, letting those guys know that once something bad happens to you, you just got to keep pushing so you can see what the outcome may be.
Well, I love your attitude because in every adversity comes a positive outcome depending on what your mindset is. And I think you've handled it better than in most of the players I've come across. Again, going into your senior year, I mean, tell us if people haven't seen you play since your sophomore year, what is your height and weight? Are you still 6'1", 180? Are you bigger? Are you taller? Where are you at? Where are you at right now?
I mean, since the injury, I had lost weight, so I'm beginning to get my weight back. I'm at 183 right now. I'll probably try to get to like, if I can, 190 before the season. I think that'll be a pretty good weight for me. I don't think anybody would be able to handle me in high school at 190. So we'll see.
Okay. And height-wise, you're growing a little bit, or are you still about 6'1"?
I think I'm probably 6'2" now. When I
Wow.
went to the last visit that I went on, I got measured at 6'2", so I think I'm a legit 6'2" at this point.
Okay. So your height and weight is very special today. You've seen all these big receivers coming out. You're long. You got good speed. You got good ball skills. I mean, and you transit to multiple positions. It's going to be exciting to see you play here. Hey, now that we're in this COVID-19 environment, and it
I can't hear
is.
you right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. We're killing time now. We're all staying home and being safe and everything. What are you doing away from your rehab and your school to just kill time? You playing video games? You on some apps? What are you doing in your spare time?
A lot of video games, a lot of things like Netflix, Disney Plus, stuff like YouTube, stuff like that. I'm kind of a loner, so I mean, I stay to myself a lot. I don't really have too many friends and things like that. So I would say video games, stuff like that. Like I play some coaches in Madden. I've done things like that to kill some time.
Okay. What's your shoe game looking like when you do get a chance to get out with your family or friends? What are you rocking right now in your shoes?
I got a bunch of kicks. I don't know if you can see my closet right
Yeah.
now, but yeah, I got a bunch of kicks. It just depends. I'll probably say my favorite brand is I don't know. It's between Nike and Jordan. I got like 20 pairs of Jordans, probably like 20 pairs of Nikes. So
Okay. Uh, what do you listen to right now? What's in your playlist? What do you do to get hyped before a game, before a workout? What artists you listening
yeah,
to?
young boy, best rapper out right now. No cap.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about, you've been around a long time. You're playing with some great players. We talked about Andrew earlier. What are some other players that either are on your team or you've played against that you think, hey, college coaches, you need to get on these guys? There's some guys you respect in their grind.
Man, if I could write down a list of the names of guys that I've come across that I think are better football players than a lot of these guys that are getting recruited higher than these guys, man, the list would be so long. But off the top of my head, I would say Danny Davis from my school, pretty fast guy. He's legit, hard to guard. Jakeem Maxwell, another guy from my school. He plays inside nickel. Moves great hips. Can attack the ball at any time. Can blitz off the edge, things like that. Levante Benford from Manor High School. That guy is a real ball player. Real fast guy, track guy too. He's a real ball player. And Xavier Lucio from Henderson High School. That guy there, straight baller, no cap.
Okay, good deal. Tell me about, you mentioned your coaches and some other people. Tell me who are the most influential people in your life right now.
My mom, my uncle Ricky, my dad, and my older brother, I would say, are the most influential people to me because, I mean, these are people that I looked up to growing up my whole life. I mean, I wanted to mimic their movements and mimic the decisions they made because I know that they're genuinely good people. So I would say those four people.
You're obviously blessed with a lot of athleticism. What other sports did you play before the injury? Were you a basketball guy? Were you a track guy? Baseball? What?
So I grew up running track. I mean, I probably have like 300 track medals. I've been to nationals, got like 5 national medals and things like that for relays and stuff. I played basketball for a long time, all the way up until I think freshman year. I played one varsity game of basketball last year, but I mean, it wasn't too major. But
Okay.
just those 3 sports I grew up playing.
Tell the coaches that are listening to be watching this, what type of learner are you? Are you visual? Are you verbal? Or are you physical?
I would say I wouldn't even be able to just pick one. I mean, I pick up on things pretty fast. I've learned to process things in different ways because of the situations that I've been in. So I would say my biggest one is probably visual. I mean, it's very easy for me to see things and be able to learn from them and things like that.
Okay. What about hobbies? Are you a fisherman? Do you like to hunt? What do you like to do? What are hobbies you do when you wait for football?
I really don't even have any hobbies like that. Like my grandma will take me fishing at times and stuff, but I don't know. I probably don't have too much time for stuff like that.
Okay. Question a lot of coaches probably have already asked you as you're kind of late in the process, but I'll ask you just for the record. Why do you think you can play at the college level?
Uh, I'm long. I'm pretty fast. I have good size. Great ball skills and things like that. I'm very confident. I think my confidence is the biggest aspect to my game that college coaches like because I don't feel like anybody that steps in front of me is gonna be better than me, no matter who he is. Like you can put Julio Jones in front of me right now, and I'm gonna step up and be like, yeah, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I would say my confidence is probably my biggest advantage to people.
Well, as you know, today is the first day of the NFL draft. Let's fast forward, let's just say 5, 6 years. You're at the draft, first day. Who's sitting at your table waiting for you to get your name announced?
Hopefully by then I'll have a female, but my mom, my brothers, Devontae Chef, Jakeem Maxwell, and Javen Bellinger.
Okay. One of the terms we use in business is elevator pitch. It's 30 seconds when you meet somebody that you think could have an impact in your life that maybe can help you out. Give us your 30-second pitch as you're shortening your list of schools. Give us your 30-second pitch about who you are and what you're about.
I mean, I would say that I'm a great person. I'm a good-hearted person. I genuinely care about the people that care about me. I genuinely enjoy speaking to people and learning from people that came before me and things like that. A lot of people that view me from the outside in don't really see how much of a good person I am and things like that, because I feel like they don't get a chance to really get to know me. But the people that know me, I think they would say that I'm a pretty good person. I'm about respect. Respect is a two-way street, so you get what you receive. I would say honesty and loyalty are two things that are really big on my end as well. You have to be honest with me if you really want me to trust you, and you have to be loyal to me if you really want me to believe in you.
Great. Well, Latrell, I can't help but tell you, man, I can't wait to see you back on the field this fall. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you play down in San Antonio. You and I talked about that. I'll keep you updated on that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the interview, and good luck moving forward as you get ready for your senior year.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right, have a
All
good
right.
day.
All right.